something you brought up. He has a special movement. And is it that he's just analyzing the situation at hand and taking into account the opponent, or is he just doing his own thing, right? Because I could see sort of, especially at any top tier level game, right? You get to an avenue or you get to a zone, and I say a zone in just sort of the broader sense of like you get to this like tier that says, okay, obviously I know how to do what I know how to do really, really well, but they do as well. And now it's much more of a, how do I mind game my opponents as opposed to just play my best game? And what level of that goes into it at this top tier level? And is part of that and what Bound does, and just the way he moves things, like someone who just has this weird, unique strafe that's just a little bit more bizarre than you're used to seeing. I mean, is that what we're seeing here?
Honestly, it's going to be that question. I think that question gets answered in Halo Infinite, right? If he comes out and he performs the same in Halo Infinite, then we'll be like, he just understands the game better. Like he has a different understanding. The game just goes through his synapses different, and it's just built for him. Halo is just unique. Video games are like that, and there's just those special players out there. What I'm going to be excited for is that we're going to see a map that I believe Flyers is very good at, which is going to be Plaza Strongholds as our first game. And we're actually in it.
Oh, we're in it right now.
I thought this was a replay. I was like, oh. Damn, no, we're in it. 5-2 right away. Like I said, I think Flyers is very good at Strongholds on Plaza. What you'll see is they'll opt to control that LR loop spawn as much as possible. You'll see players moving over there trying to secure those spawns. We see Boo Boo Doo making a quick flank with his shotgun. He wants to get cross map shots on this player Ness, but they're doing a great job of isolating out their angle already. He's gonna find super CC evades in the open, and oh my, shots from Boo Boo Doo, man. I thought he was about to fly from the cross map.
Dude, he almost was, and that patience there. You saw Boo Boo take just a moment as he's rotating back and forth. It's something I don't usually see with a lot of people, as he just destroys with that shotgun, rotating back and forth between that cafe and that plaza area, just making sure that he's putting down, laying the shots that he needs to. And looks like he now, instead of opting to go for bottom mid, he's taking a top mid position and rotating back around. I mean, the communication between these guys is good. Even though they're being triple capped right now, Boo Boo is on a killing spree. He's up in S4. He's nading the right locations. It's just a matter of him just, their team just setting up properly for them to actually take these strongholds back again.
And Boo Boo Doo, he likes to say it, like, he has one of the best movements in the game, right? He's like, he doesn't show it, like, he's not a showy player, but he's like water on the map, right? We saw him in yard, picked up the shotgun, went to blue, went back to yard, killed a player in driveway, went to LR, went to Nest, went to S4. Like, he's been everywhere on the map. He lives for as long as possible. And if you guys remember back to that first Halo World Championship, this was the map that Frosty made a name for himself. He grabbed that camouflage and the storm rifle. He went to bottom mid, and all of a sudden the crowd was chanting Boo Boo Doo Boo, Boo Boo Doo Boo. He really made his first name for himself in that world, and he's just showing why this is a playground for him. He's moving around everywhere. I don't think he's died yet. He still has I think a couple shots in that shotgun to use, and he's just laying down cross map shots. This is prime Boo Boo Doo Boo. He is just feeling comfortable. That's the best way to describe his gameplay.
He's vibing, man. I mean, he's got the shotgun in hand. I don't think he's missed with that. Everything's just been on point. It's all working out for him. You can see here, he's playing his life really, really well, and he's just, working with his team. We haven't had to move from his POV, like you said, because I don't think he's died. Looks like now we got Saiyan up there. You saw up on top glass sort of backing him up, and now Boo Boo's going to take that opportunity to flank. They want to push towards that nest area, it looks like, and get it, because they are still down a stronghold. They did bring it back. The Flyers now has a couple of them, bottom mid and nest, as Bound is now electing to be the first one here, bottom mid, nading over this area. But the Flyers member is going to fly down immediately, shut that one down, and he's not going to get that bottom mid.
Yeah, you can tell why they're named Flyers. My God, they all just appeared at once at bottom mid, but Falcated doing his best to stay alive. He's just been at that Prius forever. He eventually gets taken down by Septify. This is his first performance that we're seeing on stream. Last time in the open tournament, we saw Jazero taking his spot, and they played very well with him. Now it's like, is Septify really that much better? Is he going to put them over the edge. In my opinion, it's going to be yes, because we saw Boo Boo Doo do crazy things off the start, stay alive for what seemed like forever with the shotgun, and that wasn't enough to give them an early game lead. In fact, they're on their back foot right now. It's Super CC and the crew that are putting the work in on this Plaza Strongholds. They're looking very tough in this first game of the series. They haven't done anything that's that's really showy or be like, oh my, that's impressive. What they've done is just out macro the other side. As Falcated picked up that camouflage, it got burned. Check around that 30-31 second mark is when we're going to see that next one. But Flyers once again in position to cap bottom mid. They're going to get it, and once again they're just going to block the LR. They're going to keep that spawn for their team and have quick access to all 3 hills and try to find picks to get into a trip cap.
Yeah, Sane right there taken out commonly, who flew right in there trying to get that extra cap, and they were able to do this. Of course, now we see Boo Boo bottom mid, and they're gonna grab that one, get this back one. Going really back and forth here is now he's gonna elect to try and save this yard area, and I don't know if he meant to play that as passively as he did, but just Super CC though, I gotta give him credit for staying alive as long as he possibly could. This plaza, this yard area is most likely gonna go down, but no, as I say that, commonly comes in and just cleans that right up. Yeah, I think they're just playing really smooth macro Halo, as you said. There's a really good way of putting it, because they're just rotating at the right times. And I mean, having more than one player in a hill is, I think, the key to be able to take these ones faster than they're doing it, because otherwise, you know, Flyers is able to just kind of come in and defend those with relative ease.
And I think really, like, that was so surprising. Boo Boo was standing on top of that flower pot to check both angles. Like, he was checking that back spawn, commonly just routed himself in such a way that they just could not see him. Yeah. And man, they are just like a thorn. They're just consistently scoring points, and it's not like they're heavily outslaying or that they're like controlling the map in such a way that it's like constricting or really just pressuring them that often. It's very even slays around the board. We're seeing a pretty even game, but I just feel as if the edge really in favor of Flyers right now. They are out rotating, they're playing better positions, they're getting more impactful kills, and they're being more effective with it, as Super CC finds the camo player, or finds the player on the camo, and then gets the punch on the player. Prius, man, if he would have gotten that double kill to go with it, that would have been an insane thing to see. But Saiyan goes down. Camouflage should be up. I wonder if Falcated, no, I think that was a player from Flyers just stole it away, or maybe Boo Boo Doo Boo got away with it. There is a player, I think, that just got away with camo. There it is. Boo Boo Doo Boo got away with it, and he is the best power up player, like, especially with camouflage. He remembers the camouflage's times. He's always there. He knows how to pick it away and get away with them, and that might be what turns the tide in this game, is Boo Boo Doo Boo's camouflage right here. Can he put it to work? Commonly finds a double kill. They're going to try to find picks and get into this bottom mid, and you're gonna see they're just gonna let Boo Boo Doo Boo get this nest by himself. He puts down 2 shots. They can't find the last, and Super CC eventually finds the kill. Boo Boo Doo Boo couldn't whip the reticle in time, and that's going to let Nest go to Super CC evades. They're going to be fighting at bottom mid. The LR spawn still in favor of Inconceivable, so they have their opportunity to get themselves back into this game. Shotgun up in the face of Super CC evades. Onboard finds the trade, and now all of a sudden we're going to have a knockout fight at bottom mid. Commonly's leading the charge.
Dude, that was huge. I mean, as smart as Boo Boo played that camo, the fact that Super CC was able to take him there was huge. And now Onboard with a big beatdown. He's got this shotgun, didn't quite need it. Saiyan's going to be able to take him out. 2 members down right now for that Flyer squad, as Super CC going over to try and defend Nest, take a little bit of a higher angle. His other teammates are over at that top cafe. He's recognizing now there's going to be some people over here at the stairs. Couple, he puts in good shots. There are 2, though, strongholds, 77 and counting. This is back and forth, Garrett. This is going right away as Falcated takes out Super CC, and he's going to try and take this Nest position by himself. Is it going to work out?
Yeah, that was a beautiful play from Inconceivable. They were like a boa constrictor, tangling around their prey in the Amazon forest. They got them trapped at Nest. You saw Super CC putting in great shots, made players weak, but the problem is that they had an angle from every position, and now they were able to get increased timing. They're able to try to contest that yard. It didn't quite go in their favor, but they put up quick points. They had a trip cap for an extended period of time, and now Bao needs to win this fight against Camouflage. He gets the perfect kill on Commonly, and that's going to put them in a position where they just need to win one slay out, get the hills once again, and they'll win this game. So the hill's going to go to bottom mid now. We're going to see Commonly and the crew start scoring, but all it takes is basically one round of slays for Inconceivable. They'll take the map control necessary to get the win. We see all of these players from Flyers heavily pushing towards Nest. They want the trip cap. Boo Boo Doo Boo's moving to bottom mid. He's trying to get the quick flank. Trip cap is in effect for Flyers. Boo Boo Doo Boo took himself off the map for a period of time. He's going to find a player that's one shot, but was he off the map for too long? He's doing this by himself. He needs to live at the yard. Can he get it? He does get it. His teammates are spawning behind him, but all the momentum in the favor of Flyers. They have to get the bottom mid here, and now they have no other shot. Can Flyers contest for long enough? Yes, they can. Flyers takes the game away, and what a performance from this crew. That to me cements that they are in that upper echelon of the teams. You know, it's not a top 4 conversation anymore. It's a top 5 conversation. This Flyers team has gotten so much better with the addition of Envor and Septify, as they just played a beautiful game of Plaza Strongholds.
So well together. They played that. So I look at the secures there from Septify. I mean, the secures across that whole team, 8, 2, 6, like 16 secures across them compared to the, what is that, 8 of Inconceivable. Like, that is what really made the difference there, is that they just had that right rhythm where they were able to 2-on-1 somebody, or they just pull in, as you said many times, like just at that right angle, you know, coming in right at the spot where the Inconceivable member was not looking, right at that crucial little pathing that allowed them to get the first shot and take that kill. I do want to talk about that last play, though, of Boo Boo Doo Boo taking himself out of that equation to rotate back around. I don't think they didn't have as much time as they thought they did. I mean, that was like, it was 95-95 when he had to do that, or it was very, very close with that triple cap. And with that triple cap, man, you lose points really quickly. And with the way Flyers plays, you know, taking strongholds from them is very difficult.
And right, they're like, flanking is a double-edged sword, especially in a game type like Strongholds that's very time-based, right? You're getting to a point, and like, no matter what, as soon as 2 caps are put on the board, they're constantly scoring. It's not like CTF where you have time to like get behind people, get the flag pulled out, and then you put points on the board. Like, the points are passive. They're constantly being put on. Right. And for him to take himself off the map for 15 seconds in that scenario, he put a lot of faith in his teammates winning the fights over at Nest, and that just didn't happen. And that's what really cost him, is that, I mean, like, he stays alive with that camouflage, I think they win the game.
Yeah, but that was a huge one too.
Like, he had all the confidence that his teammates were going to win at Nest, and if they did win at Nest, that's a great play, right? Because his teammates win at Nest, they collapse out on the LR spawns, he's getting yard, they get a 2 cap, end of story, right? It's like, that's game. Yeah. But they didn't win at Nest. You could really see that it was smart from Flyers, right? They spawned LR, they didn't have bottom mid, they did have yard, and instead of all just filing down into bottom mid, they sent 2 people to Nest, 1 person to flank over into top gold, and 1 person to go to blue to try to get the cross map help into Nest, and it worked out extremely well. And Boo Boo Doo Boo took himself off the map for 20 seconds and only found 1 kill. But we're moving on to our second game, and this is a map that I'm going to favor for Inconceivable, because exactly what Boo Boo Doo Boo's doing right now. He is the best camouflage player in the game, and Rig is the best map to have camo on.
Yeah, and look at him here just dodging these sniper bullets, playing it so patiently. I mean, we even saw a beautiful nade out of Fallicated. I feel like Fallicated is one of those players too that I never get a chance to see too often on the main screen, but every time I check the kill feed, he's always doing something. Is here Boo Boo getting caught a little bit. Seems like he's actually not quite certain what position he should be in to support his team. Is, you know, this is just a Slayer game, so, you know, there's no objective here to go after, so it's more about rotating with your squad. But this sniper rifle is in the hands of Envor as he's trying to check out that corner, and I don't really like this.
Oh, he's dead. He's dead. Boo Boo Doo Boo. Oh my god, he took down Fallicated with him, but Boo Boo Doo Boo was just hanging out at the yellow corner. The pinch came in, and there we go. We see kills going in favor of Inconceivable. And though Boo Boo Doo Boo didn't do much with the camouflage and the idea of like getting kills, what he did was he stayed alive with it the entire time and forced Flyers to recognize that they couldn't make certain pushes, because Boo Boo Doo Boo would be there to stop them with the camouflage. And it's about that passive presence that you have with camouflage that makes the big difference. And Boo Boo Doo Boo just is beautiful. beautiful. It's an art for him. As Super CC makes the E1 flank, he's going to find Falcated, and he immediately pushes forward. And that's something I love about this this Flyer squad, is that they're so quick to each other's help. They're going to make a quick flank, and then they're immediately boosting across the map to make sure that they're with each other and that they're cleaning up their fights. And that's going to reward Super CC with a scatter shot to use, but they don't have any tower presence at all right now. And that's where you want to see that scatter shot, is in Tower 2 and just holding it down for the most part.
Oh, but Super CC does a really good job of first evading over there and then taking that player out with the scatter shot. Now setting up for Camo. He's going to be taken out by Falcated, though, as we see how this moves forward. Who's going to pick that one up? Envor's in position. He takes out Saiyan, but two members right there from each team. Who picked that up? Was not
Bound.
Envor.
Bound got the camouflage. Unfortunately for him, he could not get away with it. But that was a camouflage that definitely felt as if it should have gone to Flyers and that they could have gotten away with it. But that was a great job by Falcated, who immediately spawned at the basement and bought enough time for his team to come. They all set up and they got in position so that they can neutralize that camouflage and make Flyers once again play 4v4 with pistols. Set to fight in this Tower 2 position. This is one of my favorite positions, especially when you have the power weapon to go with it, because you're not influencing bunker spawns while you're at tower, so you have that opportunity to get shots on people right when they spawn. Unfortunately for him, could not handle the pressure coming from bunker and E2. And Envor, smart play, this game's getting a little out of hand. He immediately throws the sniper off the map and is going to try to buy some time for this Flyers roster to start picking off some kills, because it is starting to swing heavily in Inconceivable's favor. They need to start winning some pivotal fights.
Yeah, I think there was just, some 1v1s that were just lost there. The lead now extended to 7, biggest one, about halfway through, 26 kills. For Inconceivable, Septify trying to catch somebody off guard, gets 2 players one shot, Bound's able to clean him up, and that's the kind of thing that I feel like we kept seeing Flyers do, but now this time Inconceivable is just answering back with the team help and the evasion.
Yeah, they are looking absolutely incredible right now. Oh my, 30-21 in favor of Inconceivable. Commonly's made one shot, and the nade from Saiyan is going to take him out. And look at him already looking at the Tower 2 push. Unfortunately, there was a player in that short hallway, and that's going to allow Super CC to pick up a double kill as he was on the quick flank. Once again, he loves to go through that E1 flank into Underbridge and find players from behind, and that's going to make a big swing in the favor of Flyers. They're going to gain inside control and going to be putting these teams on a split spawn potentially, as you see them leaving that bunker. I don't think it happened, but they got inside control just in time for that camouflage. And Saiyan just gets behind his back. That looked like the opportunity for Flyers to get back in that game, but Saiyan makes a big play by finding the weakness in the setup, getting behind that camouflage player, and finding the pick.
Well, and I think what happened there, right, is that they had these sort of like multi-flanks going on, and that's what allowed Flyers to sort of get that position. But then they were just kind of like sitting there waiting for that camo, and then from that getting themselves, whether it was a split spawn or not, just out of position to be able to put pressure on the spawning Inconceivable players. Is now Saiyan's rocking with this DMR, just holding off back in the bunker here, not setting up for camo, just trying to make, again, looks like a nice sneaky little flank there as his buddy's going to get taken out. He's now going to be a little bit sort of caught by himself in the middle of this tower, but his teammate comes right away. He's taken out by Saiyan as Boo Boo Doo now in this top position. Still down 9 kills though, so Inconceivable just doing what they need to do to trade out as they reach the later stage of this game.
Super CC is made one shot and Bound with the extra movement. He does a spring jump thrust into Tower 2 and finds that one shot player. Eventually is taken down, but hey, 6 kill lead. They only need 10 to go, right? So you have basically 4 free lives that you can give up without trading. Every other kill at this point just needs to be traded. And Boo Boo Doo Boo, he has some pressure put on from E3. He's trying to escape and stay alive. We see all this pressure being applied to white corner, but there was a player that was on the flank, and that was Bound, but he gets quickly taken out, and they're trying to set up for the sniper rifle. They desperately want it, but they can't get it if these players are just positioned in E2 putting down damage. But Boo Boo Doo Boo gets down. All these players from Inconceivable are finding kills. It looks like the position is lost for Flyers unless they find some pivotals. Right here, Saiyan gets behind everyone but can't quite find the shots, and Flyers, they pulled that out of nowhere. They looked like they were about to lose their entire setup, but just before it happens, they win a pivotal fight. They get the sniper rifle, and now they need to try to use it to get themselves back in this game. Super CC hits back Bound before he goes down 40 to 45. That sniper rifle is going to be the key for this Flyers roster to get back into this game, but they're spawning away from it. They have a position to look at the sniper rifle, at least as Bound has picked it up, but Bound immediately found a headshot with it, and that should put this game out of reach. We see all of the players from Flyers repositioning the yellow corner to try to isolate the sniper away from the fight, but Bound is not having any part of it. He's just going to be looking for pick. Oh man, actually Flyers has done a great job of making sure Bound can't even participate in this fight. It looks like Bound just looking for a pick, but they are not putting themselves in a position to get picked. And as I say that, Septify gets his head taken off. I spoke too soon, as he just peeks the white corner and Bound punishes him for it.
You know, Flyers did a beautiful, beautiful thing there, right? By rotating back around, not going over towards Nest to take Bound out of that position, taking the 4-on-3, if you will, to bring this back, 3 kills to go. Then, of course, Bound, recognizing that needs to happen, rotates back over, and now they're just chilling and waiting. I mean, when that first comeback started, I swear to God, I was like, wow, Boo Boo's playing this so smart. But,
oh my, Bound got caught. Bound got caught. Oh my, Super CC. If Super CC can get out with that sniper rifle, that would be massive. Oh my, Onboard finds Boo Boo Dubo. I think the comeback's happening. We see Flyers, they're collapsing. They're converging on the players over at Bunker. They have the power weapons. We see Hammy in that stairs. The Septify's gonna try to trade with Bound. Onboard finds a kill on Sand. 49-49. There's a player in Tower 2. Hammy has the shot. They've done it. Flyers did it. They came back. Oh my God, what a choke. Holy, can I curse? Can I curse? Oh, holy shit. What just happens? What just happens?
They played peekaboo. They played peekaboo. Inconceivable was just hanging out, waiting for their right moment to push, and instead, Flyers, in their true nature, just flew out, took the advantage where they had it, took them by surprise. Maybe use some of that frame rate increase when you're moving to get the right kills, and just look at the stats here. Commonly coming out big, 14 kills, 13, 12, 11, everybody participating, assists across the board. I mean, this was just massive. The team was working together here. They did a great job controlling themselves, controlling their composure. I mean, they were down by 9 or 11 kills maybe at one point in that game, and just slowly brought it back to win this one. There, I had them in my own brain. I had Flyers going down probably like 3-1 in this matchup, and right now they're up 2-0. They're looking like they may beat Inconceivable in this pool play right now.
I want to give a shout out to Super CC. In fact, I don't know how they knew Bound was sitting there in sewers, because he was just sitting there in sewers playing so slow, waiting for a pick, right? And just waiting for someone to get to expose themselves. Commonly did that. He went to bottom nest. We saw Bound trying to position the reticle. He couldn't get there in time, and because he was scoped in looking for Commonly, Super CC caught him out in the basement and won the most critical fight. And that sniper rifle is what ends up getting them that 50th kill in that 49-49 situation of a player trying to run away at Tower 2. But this is beautiful, right? They get all the power weapons, and then they fly immediately at Nest to force a split spawn so that they have no help, so that these players are basically playing a 3v2 and they can't get away. That player that spawned at Nest eventually gets caught out. That was one of the most beautiful end games I have ever seen played by a team, and I mean ever. That was one of the craziest comebacks I've seen. They lost the sniper rifle, and they just accepted that fact and positioned themselves. All these players positioned themselves perfectly at yellow corner, so that they isolated Bound out of the fights, and that Bound couldn't play an impact, so they basically played 4v3 the entire time, finding pick after pick, working their way back into the game. And then when the opportunity was there, they stroke. We saw them collapse. They constricted straight into that bunker, found the collapse, and I just cannot talk about how disciplined this Flyers roster is. And that's so surprising to say, because they have 2 new pieces. Onboard and Septify are new to the team, and they fit just like a glove. This is one of the most impressive performances I've seen from a new roster. And I saw during the open bracket, I was like, hey, I think this team could be top 4. They have a chance to take one of these tournaments, and they keep playing this way, and they keep playing this icy, because that was one of the most clutch performances I've ever seen from a team and a Slayer. They were down by a lot, and it was not looking helpful. I think it was like, what, 47-41 or something like that, and they just come right back into this game. Oh, we just saw him like come collapse right there at the very end. That was Super CC who like got that sniper rifle away. And this fight from Onboard to beat Just Saying over at yellow corner is great, but that is a game that needs to be analyzed. That needs to go on Paradise Halo or something, and just show how that comeback happened, because that was beautiful. That was like poetry, a well painted. That was a Rembrandt. You know, that was everything that we could ever want.
Well, at the end there, I was a little confused, right? Because we saw Bound, and I'm not sure who that was, but somebody else in sewers, the two of them in that position. Now, like traditionally, right? I've said this many times before. Like, you know, usually want to be up high for those things, but in that case, they were trying to take a better angle and just caught off guard by the hunters of the Flyers. As we move into game number 3 here, getting started real hot and spicy. Valgated going to get taken down by a nade by Septivi, and Super CC with the nades as well. This is a good start for this Flyers team already as they come away with the overshield and potentially the sniper rifle.
Now look, Onboard immediately got the overshield and really didn't take any damage whatsoever. I'm not really sure how that happened because, you know, you don't see players just get away with overshields with no damage and get sniper rifles and all that jazz, but they are just hunting down players. I mean, all the momentum is clearly in the favor of Flyers, and I mean, I don't know if Inconceivable's mental is just ruined at this point, but they aren't looking the same. This is looking like a prime Flyers roster to just make a miracle run, a dark horse run through the tournament as Onboard hits a cross map no scope on the one-shot player and is trying to hold down this blue door for his team. Misses the last one. That nade just hit at the right time to jostle his scope a little bit. And that's going to give the ball time in favor Inconceivable in a moment as Boo Boo Doo picks up the sniper rifle. I think there's only a couple more shots left in it. We'll see if he's able to find a pick with it as he is just trying to stay alive. Oh, 4 shots. So more sniper rifle ammo than I imagined was left over.
Yeah, and you know, I would agree with you. I think that it was like, wow, this Flyers team is absolutely crushing right now. Inconceivable just feels like they're playing a little slow. Maybe the mental game get into it, but as we see, you know, these guys are professionals. They come right back on board here, holding down blue base as we typically see on this map with Oddball as Dubu's taking the sniper, just checking all his angles, making sure nobody can come sneak up on their house.
Yeah, we see a lot of the Flyers pushes coming in that blue alley area. They want to pry Boo Boo Doo out of that power position, and it's just looking tough. Bound eventually finds the kill, but Septify and Onboard work together to find a couple picks, and Bound, that was a critical win versus Septify. It keeps the sniper in their favor, and it keeps, oh my dude. That is so sad. Now that was a perfect shot from Bound. He drops it all. Okay, well,
Bound is
we're talking about how special
level.
Bound was. He's showing it right now, man.
He's playing as if the map's not even there. He just knows where the player should be, and he's just taking the shot wherever it might happen. And you know, sometimes he hits that wall because he accidentally crouches, and other times he just blames somebody from a mile away because his accuracy is just on point right now. As they take this ball, they go up 20 points right now, rotating out. That ball rotated from blue all the way over into red. Now it's swung back around to security as they try and bring it back into blue base as Bound doing a little beat down runaway here as the teams are fighting across the map.
And Taylor, we saw the stat sheets before we started, and there was a stat that was very dominant from this Inconceivable rosters, and it was their oddball record. They are 24-2. They don't lose oddballs, and they're showing why. I mean, they had an abysmal start. Everything was going in the favor of Flyers, and all of a sudden they're still up by 30 points right now. It just seems as if everything is still just going in their favor when it comes to ball time, when it comes to the flow of the game. It just looks as if it's in their favor at the moment, and I don't think that's going to change. They look like the best oddball team in the game. Even when things aren't going in their favor, they somehow pry away points. They keep the positions. You can just see every time they have the ball, they set up so well, and they just know where to look and where to position themselves. And there's a reason why they're 24-2. And as Sane just hits a beautiful headshot over the top cap, but a player to his right. Can he stay alive as nades come in? No, he gets pried out by Super CC, but Bound already on the rotation with that ball. And, you know, they're just putting more and more distance. Every second ticks away as this rotation happens.
Yeah, and I think it's the rotation here that's key to their success on oddballs. Like, even if, you know, the slays are going back and forth relatively even or they don't lose the right ones, just the decision-making of the ball carrier to know, okay, I need to run the ball over here or start moving this way. And I would say that, you know, that's a decision you actually have to make even before it develops. You almost have to, like, say, okay, our team is winning this battle over here. That means that I should stay on this side, or I should, you know, slightly move over to this corner. And you sort of like make those decisions as you're listening to your team to those things as Envor comes away with a double kill. This could be the opportunity for their team to pick up the ball, and they do as he goes on a killing spree, trying to live over here. Boo's going to take him down as we switch over to Septify. They're going to hold down this blue base. He gets popped just from the middle there as Inconceivable is trying to push in here real quick. They do not want to let them set up as Septify is just sort of waiting, baiting this player back here. He's going to get the kill on Falcade. He's going to turn around, nade that ball as there's a player jumping in red window. He's gonna leave it though, not grab the ball, excuse me, go around for this kill, and yeah, they're doing a good job here of setting up in this
space. It was
base.
a hard kill. Saiyan was not one to die right there.
He was not,
and he might have bought enough time for that to work in their favor. As Bound picks the ball just seconds before it resets, and we see all of these players from Flyers spawning over at the blue catwalk as far away from the ball as possible. Now, what's interesting is Bound's moving towards the tower. They want to take this fight and position themselves back at blue. You can tell that they feel more comfortable at blue catwalk. So this is a ton of confidence from Inconceivable to bring that ball into the mid and try to fight for blue catwalk after the entire team just spawned there. And they're right now, it's not going in their favor as two go down. Envor finds a big double kill. Saiyan coming in from the flank. Can he find the picks necessary to keep this control for Inconceivable? Commonly outflanking the flankers. He's over in red, and that looks like it's gonna that's time for Flyers. So, you know, a controversial play from Bound and the crew to try to get themselves into blue catwalk and win the fights at tower does not work in their favor, and that's gonna be time for Flyers to move away and potentially hold an extended setup.
Yeah,
Falcade did get the sniper though.
He did. Okay, yeah. And you know, that was one of those things you were like, I'm not sure about this push up there back into blue, but it looked like the grenades and the positioning was good, but they decided to sort of back down a little bit. And that's what sort of led them to take all that damage. Is now three players now go down, and the Flyers is going to pick up some more time. This time Envor again picking up this overshield unscathed this time, as basically all of the Inconceivable members were spawning Envor, getting a nice pick to clean up Saiyan there, just barely skirting the top of his head. So now he's just hanging out, locking down this outside position. A couple more of his buddies are over on the security side, and Envor's just playing a little ring around the rows. You're going to rotate back, you know, take a little bit more of a defensive position. As his overshield's now completely gone, he's going to be taken out. A couple members down. This ball needs to be played now.
Yeah, that was interesting from Envor because he got that overshield, and I thought he was going to use that overshield to go get the sniper rifle. He opted not to do that, and then Bound gets a big pick with that sniper rifle to open up the tower lane. And they just let Envor. I mean, it kind of feels like that, like Envor is like the Hulk for them in the Avengers, where they're like, hey, we're just gonna let you loose in the city. You hold the things down. We'll do the important things, because he just goes on a tear and finds kill after kill. But yeah, that might have been a misstep by not getting that sniper rifle, not taking Bound out of that spot, and that was just great. That was a great job by Inconceivable to really burn that overshield without letting them have much of an impact. They just need 7 more seconds. I don't think there's anyone from Flyers that can really get to them in time, and they're going to take this game. They're last second. I'm not sure why he went to that play position. He could have just stayed in the red base and been fine. The players from Flyers are at the ball, but nades are coming out. Kills are going in favor of Inconceivable. They're going to find 3, only 1 player left, and that is going to be game for this Inconceivable squad. So we're not going to see a 3-0 of Inconceivable. That would have blown my mind if they got 3-0'd. But we're moving into game 4, and I believe that was a map that I talked about that I think this is Flyers' best map, Coliseum CTF.
Excuse me. Going into the next one, Coliseum CTF, you said that's a Flyers one. Yeah.
I think Flyers play it, if not like as good as like Cloud9 or Sentinels, who I believe are the best, like just as good as them. I think they have that down to a science. You're going to see very coordinated gameplay on Coliseum CTF when you look at this Flyers roster. It's like math for them, right? They're like, you have 1 player at elbow, 1 player goes through window, you find the kills, the player from window pulls out towards elbow, and they get the flag cap through the trench run. You'll see that so often from them. They set up for it. It's very intentional. Everything that they do is practiced and mechanical. It's very interesting to watch this Flyers roster play on Coliseum Flag.
Yeah, that'll be curious to see, checking out the stats from just last game, not exactly the calculations from Flyers. We saw Inconceivable really control the momentum and the pace of that oddball game, definitely outslaying a bit. Assists sort of more or less on par, which is always good to see. But yeah, the rotations there just made really big difference. And you know, that last one, that last push that we saw from Flyers to be able to, you know, try and utilize this overshield field, they weren't all flowing together, right? It was sort of like Envor was on this side of the map trying to make something happen, but it wasn't really where the action needed to happen. He wasn't getting the right kills, even though he was getting kill after kill.
Oh man, look at that shot, man, from Envor. Envor is so special in my opinion. Like he's just like one of those players that you can just tell it's just always been a main slayer. Like he's like always just been like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go through the social playlist and just kill everything and just always be on the top of the leaderboard. And he just has so much swagger and confidence in his gameplay. But here we go. We're going into our game 4. Can Flyers upset Inconceivable? Can Inconceivable get us to another 5th game? We see Falcated with the sniper rifle. No one for Flyers really contesting over at sniper whatsoever. And that lets Falcated get an early double kill, snapshot after snapshot, and snipe control in favor of this Inconceivable roster early on. Big shots from Falcated.
He doesn't need a scope. He doesn't need a scope. He is popping off shots right now with the sniper, taking the K position. Love this spot right here. Just trying to peek that angle over so slightly. Of course, Flyers knows what he's trying to do. He's going to be taking out Septify with the perfect kill on him. There are 3 members down from Flyers, but we're 2 members down from Inconceivable. But that, of course, did not stop Inconceivable from making a trench run. Is that the new meta now, the trench run? Because it looks like they're going to cap this one real soon.
Well, that was even more unique than the trench run because they went top rocks, and I'm not sure why they went top rocks, because it allowed Septify just to hammer that player through. But yeah, I think trench runs are the future on this game. I mean, or the present now, really. We saw a big transition in that 2017-2018 season where Splice started to come to dominance, where they patented really this rock run, and you just see them. They're about to get it in. Boo Boo Doo and the crew are there to find the stop, though. They're finding kills. They're getting on the flag right away, and they're able to counter. So once again, we see 2 flags get just to that point, and no one was able to get the cutoff over on Snipe side, and that cost them both dearly. As now we see Boo Boo Doo trying to run this last one in. He's gonna, I think no shot that Flyers is gonna be able to stop this one. This should be the first flag cap that goes in for either side, as we see Boo Boo Doo finally get it in. So that was interesting. We saw 3 flag grabs and only 1 flag cap in a matter of probably a minute. That's how fast this gameplay has been going.
This is crazy. It's giving me a little flashbacks from our first series with Magnanimous and sort of their, the counter caps going back and forth between them and Sentinels. So, yeah, we'll see how this one. I want to see Flyers kind of just try and take more control, use those setups as you said they were talking about. But right now, Boo Boo coming up with a good double, Bound with another kill off screen, and they're just now slowly putting on the pressure, slowly closing in on the bear trap here.
Yeah, and this is Falcated got the flag out, and this is gonna be a big fight from Commonly, and Commonly comes out on top. Boo Boo Doo thought he hit the headshot. That's 3 players down, and now a counter cap from Commonly could come in. He's going back to the elbow to block the spawns, and now he's on the street. He has to decide whether to go up or down. He's gonna actually opt to stay for a second. As a player comes forward, they need to find this kill. The kill does go in their favor. Septify finds Bound. All the overextensions happen on the snipe side for this Inconceivable roster, so Flyers should be able to get this flag back relatively easy. It's about finding the slaybacks on the snipe side as Sniper is coming back up. Falcated has the snipe. He's going to be able to put it to work. He's trying to find a player at the elbow. The flag carrier, that's one. Oh, and he wide out of the double kill. Oh no, Falcated, unnecessary YY gonna cost him.
Oh, and Envor with a big kill on Sane there is trying to make the pull, and another big trade there. Looks like by Commonly. Yeah, I think this might be a... this is a flag standoff. I didn't realize that there was a pull going off on the other side. That's right. They weren't able to get it. But that was huge of Commonly staying alive over there. The way he played that with a flag, trying to basically baiting it out a little bit, and then going back, leaving the flag for his teammate to make sure that he blocked that spawn, and his teammate would have that sort of right flag angle. Now we see
Falcated. Holy Falcated. He just ran through the entire roster to get onto that flag and get the return to let this Inconceivable roster go up 2-0, and Boo Boo Doo caps it off with a headshot on top catwalk, hits the body on the elbow, and cannot find that kill as Septify lives in the elbow. But this is what Flyers love to do. They love to put a player in the elbow and just cement them there and wait for the help to come. We see the player starting to push through window. This was the cat and push I was talking about for Flyers. The rockets come in. Envor finds 1. Envor finds 2. The players there at elbow. The Flyers strat works out perfectly, but no one's on rotation once again. Their snipe side has just been too weak, and the pushes from Inconceivable have been consistent through the snipe side. The flag is not able to go in, and ninja'd at the last moment. Inconceivable survived for one more flag run.
Our flag's been taken.
Damn, they were hugging that side way too much. They needed to push back into their own base and really put the pressure on so that the Inconceivable squad couldn't go and make that cap. And now, yeah, they're just doing it. Trades going off on both sides here as this fight is just hammering through. Falcated taking out Super CC, just dancing around. The nades here are just flying everywhere. Who comes out on top here? I mean, this is the last chance here for Flyers to make sure they can stay in this one. Although they are still up 2-1, this could tie it up 2-2 and go into a game number 5.
My onboard, man, what awareness! I was about to say, there's a player for Inconceivable that was in the back of Flyers base that could make something happen, but that was a big kill by onboard to put that player out. But 3 players from Inconceivable are flying into this base to go down, and that's gonna be Boo Boo Doo by himself. He's that last line of defense for the flag carrier. He gets his shields back, but map control back into the favor of Flyers. But what Flyers have had a problem with is they allow these players from Inconceivable to find weaknesses in the setup and find quick flanks and get returns that do not belong, as we see Super CC just checking out the entire middle half of the map, and that should be a cap for Flyers. We see once again that player gets into the base. They find the kill. Is there anyone there for Flyers to find the cleanup? No, it's Falcated staying alive, bound with the cross map shots and the return in. Once again, that's 3 flag caps that should have been in the favor of Flyers that have been taken away at the last second from this Inconceivable roster. They are just so pesky. They know the timing to get behind these players and to find their opportunity. Commonly with the Rockets, he's on the elbow. No one expects him to on this flank. We'll see if he can find a kill with it. The player goes down in the window. There's 3 over on the snipe sound. Bound has the sniper rifle to work with. Commonly with the Rockets, which power weapon will be the catalyst for the cap? As we see Bound and Commonly find a kill, and they both go down at the same time. Sniper rifle, I'm not sure if it went off the map, but there should still be some ammo for it, as onboard finds another critical kill at the elbow, and Septify finds the sniper rifle to go with it. So Flyers once again have another opportunity, but that's all it's been for this roster, is opportunity after opportunity, and Inconceivable snatching the dream out from before ahead of them every single time they get that flag back. This should be 3 caps in the favor of Flyers, but Inconceivable, they just hold on and persevere every single time, it feels like.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, this has got to be frustrating if you're Flyers right now. It's Falcated. It's just putting more and more pressure. I mean, now, of course, they are really feeling their vibe. I'm saying they, meaning Inconceivable, is right there. Falcated makes a nice play, taking the sniper off the map, and commonly really favoring this rocket and this trench side over here. And I just feel like he hasn't quite been able to get the right flanks.
This is why you do it right
people
here, Taylor. This is why you do it. Perfect timing. He gets to the elbow right when 3 players go down, and this means there's really no opportunity for these players from Inconceivable to stop this flag run. This is like a 100% guaranteed cap as long as they find these kills on the rotation. But once again, man, Inconceivable, they're so fast at getting back, and they stop it once.
But see, that happens the same time over and over again. It's the same
they
play.
Win every fight. I mean, like, in my opinion, that's Flyers just not executing. Like, should be 100% a flag cap. Maybe commonly can be a little bit faster on the flag run, but the fact that Inconceivable are so great at, like, getting right off into the rotation and get back in time. Saiyan shoots off the long range rocket but can't quite connect. The flag return could be coming in, yet Flyers able to get the flag return, and Saiyan finding that kill with the Rockets. But man, the problem is like, Flyers, they're great, they're finding their opportunities, but there's not that much time left. There's 3 minutes and 40 seconds for them to find this as they get another flagpole off. This one I think is going to get stopped relatively short. Oh, actually, he gets back into those trenches. And what's also been weird for me is how Flyers has been going through the top rocks consistently.
Yeah.
Normally, you'd see more of a trench run that's a bit faster, and I think that couple seconds of speed has been costing them dearly. And I think they're going to find that in the film review when they watch this back. But 3 minutes still left on the clock. Flyers still have the opportunity, but it needs to come at individual execution at this moment. Bound gets onto that flag. If they don't pull, is the flag out? Oh, the flag is out. Boo Boo Doo running in this, and this should be actually no, there's a player that's positioned. Boo Boo Doo found him, so it's going to slow him down. And I believe that Septify that's there is going to be able to slow down this flag run, but I don't believe it'll be enough, as this should be the 3rd flag cap in for Inconceivable.
That's me all she wrote there. Well, going into a game number 5, which is nice, 3-0. Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is we just talked about, like, I feel like we saw that same trench or top rockets run, and then what Inconceivable was doing, they sent one player to fly through snipe into the fridge, and then one just right at their bridge. And there wasn't a player or a couple players pinching in them from behind, or even just being in front of the flag carrier at the podium of the flag to help defend against those two angles, because there's just not, unless you're sitting back in the base, there's just not a good angle you can take to sort of prevent those nades and those players from flying in and taking out that flag carrier as you wrap in from outside.
I think they were fine. Like, I don't know why they went top rocks, because I think if they go through trench, I think
it's faster. Yeah,
I just like, you know, like Commonly was running that flag like physically as fast as possible, but he wasn't taking the fastest route. And I think that route is what cost them at the end. Man, I want to see the flagpoles. I want to see how many flagpoles this blue team had, because they were just in the base. And there we go, 3, 1, so what, 6, 7, 9 flagpoles, and then I mean 9 flagpoles for either team.
Yeah, they were going back and forth from both sides there, but it definitely felt for some reason like Flyers was pulling more, and in some cases, you know, that first one, you know, felt like a back and forth, like a counter cap situation that kept happening here and there, and that's what we saw. You know, I'm used to seeing more of like setups, but they both did it really, really well. In this case, I think it was just the speed in which Inconceivable could just sort of like fly their flag back to their base, as opposed to Flyers' ability. Yeah, just wasn't able to quite match it.
It's such a close match, man. And it's like, you know, we saw the final score 3-0. It definitely did not feel like a 3-0. So many moments where we just saw Flyers about to get that flag cap in, and they just choke it away at the last second. And I mean, this is what happens when you're playing against the top squad. So I mean, this is their first time as a full roster really being able to play in a tournament environment versus these top of the top teams, and they're putting on a hell of a performance. The consistency just needs to be there. And I'm not sure what our 5th game is. I want to say it's Regret, but I could be wrong on that. I think I'm wrong. I usually am when it comes to predicting what game 5 is supposed to be. Truth Slayer is our 5th game. So it's like, we saw an incredible comeback before, but I just felt like the Slayer was still just definitely like Inconceivable's wheelhouse. Like the objectives were where Flyers could find their potential, especially on this flag game, and it just didn't happen. And now it's like, I still have faith that Flyers can do it. It's just, it's going to be much tougher than it should be. They should have taken this flag game away.
Yeah, they really should have, or at least should have been a little bit closer. Truth Slayer, though, going to be different from Rig Slayer. Not as many power weapons. In fact, almost 0 power weapons in there. So I wonder how that's going to play out. Especially, you know, this Flyers squad, they like to flyer on the map. If they can get the right pinches and collapses, they can take the top mid positions here. I mean, Truth is such a fun map. I feel like every time I watch it, I learn a little bit more, especially with these top pros playing. As we jump into game number 1, going to start off with Commonly taking a position top mid, going to just rain down some shots, try and prevent the enemy from getting that camo.
Or is he Commonly already in the bottom half of the map? Oh, he just thrust forward right when a player car 1 exposes themselves. And that's Sand, who's just patrolling through bottom mid. Septify with the camouflage, trying his best to stay alive, but not able to do so as a grenade lights him up like the Christmas tree on Christmas Day and takes him out. And that is a rough start for Flyers, right? 3-2 looks close, but nothing really went in their favor. Camo taken out quickly. These players split spawning across the map, trapped in a base and trapped over a car. Inconceivable could take this momentum and find 3-4 kills without really an answer from this Flyers roster, and that's exactly what happens. 3 kills going in the favor of Inconceivable as they take advantage of the lackluster position.
Yeah, of course, but on board with Valcated, a couple members, Sane and Bound, both go down. He's kind of like stuck now waiting for his teammates to spawn as Flyers is able to take a little bit of position. Bound, though, going to wrap in behind, get a nice double kill there, and that allows him and Valcated to go put these pressure from up top down into this base as Bound decides to just drop down in there, get both of those players weak. Somebody cleans one of them up, but that's all 3 players from Flyers in red looking to push out to get to that top car position.
Man, Falcated, man, I'm not sure. He just wanted to get a trade and keep the trade. I'm not sure why he pushed so heavily into that position. Must have been a miscommunication in the comms, as that was just a guaranteed death 100% of the time. Even if he gets a trade out, I don't see it being that beneficial, as Onboard and the crew are starting to push through the P door. and get some P position. Camo's going to be coming up relatively soon, so they want to be able to get both P doors and just live over at the P side. But so far, 2 players from Flyers still over on the car, and this is Septify by himself that has to take care of the Camo positioning as nades are coming through. Septify trying his best, but more and more nades. He's having to take on the entire army by himself at that P door, and that's going to let Camo probably go into the favor of this Inconceivable squad. As we see flankers, man, that's Bound and Boo Boo Doo Boo who are on the quick flank. And oh my god, Bound got caught out, and now Boo Boo Doo Boo is in a tough spot, and that's going to let Camo go into the favor of Flyers. That is a choke from Inconceivable. That Camo should have been theirs, but Falcated finds a big double kill. And I believe that's Onboard, Septify that had the camouflage, so he's quickly taken care of. But man, that should have been a free camouflage for Inconceivable.
Yeah, it was interesting because it really felt like they had the good setup, but then Flyers, it seemed to be just like established where they all were. They were set up and then decided to just try something a little bit different, right? I felt like now they're just like they pushed in super hard. Of course, the lead's still growing here for Inconceivable, so you know, not sure exactly how much that did getting away. The camo really hasn't been utilized in this game at all, but the nades just keep to be flying all over the place as all these teams really, to me, are just sort of rotating around the map as best they can, just trying to maintain the advantage as Bound just picks up a nice double there around the camo.
And we see Boo Boo Doo Boo going back towards P side. He sees his teammate spawn. He's like, oh, my teammate spawned at the P door. That means there's a guy behind me over a car. Looks behind him, finds one, and then the second appears, and then there's a guy top. So they're all trapped basically at this P door right now for Inconceivable. Septify finds the first pick on Falcated. Bound answers back over at P1. But yeah, this is a tough spot for Inconceivable to get out of, as Commonly and Septify both find kills, and now Boo Boo Doo Boo's on by his lonesome over at bottom red base. He's trying his best to stay alive. I don't know how long he's going to be able to do so, as he eventually is taken down. He lived for an extended period of time, but Camouflage once again going to be coming up soon. And that was a well-timed push by Flyers to take everyone out of P, so they're going to have the P control for this Camouflage coming up soon, but they're going to have to win these fights when this Inconceivable roster starts pushing out a blue P door.
Oh my gosh, I think Camo's right at the 45 mark, just about commonly staying alive down bottom. He's putting in good shots, almost the 5 there.
At this, he's patiently playing, like he doesn't want to burn this camouflage. He's like waiting for his chance, and unfortunately right when he goes for it, that's when they push out. So great, well-timed push from Inconceivable to take down the camo once again. Seems like you want to be not in position of P for you to get the camouflage this time around, but Septify with a beautiful shot on Bound, eventually trade out by Saiyan over at bottom mid, and this has just been really back and forth. We saw a strong start from Inconceivable, Flyers consistently answering back and finding their opportunities, but honestly, we haven't really seen a camouflage get away. With the first 3 have been burned. I think that'll be the difference maker in this game, is who can get a camouflage and live.
Agreed. Boo Boo Doo Boo now trying to take this position up in top car. Looks like he's got a little bit of health. The pace of this game here has definitely slowed down now. I feel like both teams, you know, the Inconceivable started to pull away, Flyers brought it back, and now both teams are just slowly fighting. Is a little bit of a one-on-one going there. Falcade with some cleanup, Septify, Boo Boo Doo Boo playing a little bit on this angle. Of course, there we go. Super CC going to take out Falcade, and still the trades go back and forth, slightly more in favor of Conceivable. Feels like they're working together a little bit more. It's Boo Boo Doo Boo, just that movement that he has. Look at this ham. He doesn't even know he's here. He's getting him one shot. Bound's going to clean him up. He's just going to turn around, continuously fire on onboard. Looks like somebody else. That Saiyan's going to get taken out by onboard, though, as the pinch is coming in on both sides. And these guys are playing this map really well, and just baiting each other back and forth as they both trying to, you know, establish sort of real control. And it definitely feels like it's more of a rotation game than a setup one.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big, there was a big 3-kill swing for Inconceivable over at the car side, and that allowed them to put them into the setup and start to get them on cycles. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't keep it for that long, as there was a big couple of kills from onboard and Septify that happened over on the P door that allowed them to break out of that setup. But once again, we see this is going to be Inconceivable that's set up probably in a better position for camouflage. I say that until Saiyan gets taken down, and now it's going to be up really to Bound to make the play for them to get this camouflage. He's the player in the middle that can disrupt all this action. He's going to drop down and try to get this kill on the camo player. He does that, and there we go. The first camo is out, and it's away, and it's in a player that's so dangerous. Bound is going to be able to stay alive with it. They have a 5-kill lead. This is really reminiscent of what we saw in game 2, where Bound got the sniper rifle when they had a pretty big lead going into the end of the game, and they ended up choking that one away. The question is this deja vu, or can they secure the victory this time round?
I don't know. I mean, Bound's got the triple opportunity right here. Somebody turns around, he still gets them. Of course, there are a couple more pairs. There's 2, though, of the 3. Is he going to get the 3rd right here? Boo Boo Doo Boo takes it away from him, but that'll extend their lead even further. This, to me, Garrett, is like a literal mirror of what happened on the rig. We saw Inconceivable come away with the lead a little bit. It was tied back, and now, of course, this one going back in favor, 49-39. This one, I think, a little bit too far gone. Too far gone. Yep, there it is. Yeah,
and really, it was the camouflage that made the big difference, right? Bound was able to get away with it, and he was the critical player. Like, they lost their P2 position. Bound was in top mid. He was waiting for someone to slip up and go for camo too early. He found that player. It was Commonly who tried to position himself for the camo play. Bound immediately dropped. Found a critical kill on Commonly, and the fact that he was able to find another one and get away with camo really made the biggest difference. We see him go 16-10 in that game. You have to be kicking yourself if your Flyers right there. That was all you. A 2-0 lead, and unfortunately give it up for the reverse sweep. That oddball, the catalyst to the game that like really just put it on its head. We know how good this Inconceivable roster is at oddball, and it really just gave them the juice necessary to get away with this game. But look at that, 2,800 damage from Bound. He absolutely just took over the game.
Yeah, he really picked it up. I mean, that bringing him the KDA of 10.0, like at the last sort of bit there when they really pulled away. It felt like, this game was 7 minutes and 40 seconds long, but really the last like quarter of the game happened in about 2 minutes time, so it was, just, really interesting the way the game really sped up once Inconceivable had that control of the camo to really just secure it in that last one.
Yeah, and that's going to be an end to the second pool. I don't really think that there's going to be any other games that went longer than that extensive 5-game series. And I believe next we should have Elevate going up against that Magnanimous roster. Unless if I could be wrong, but we're gonna see what's going on over there. But I'm actually curious as to what's happening in that Group A between Elevate and Magnanimous, and see if we can get an update over there.
Yeah, let's see what's happening, because I know to keep this tournament moving along, obviously we don't want to hold matches when we don't have to, and myself, I'm here casting with you right now, so
hey,
I
love it.
I'm not in the background seeing what's up, so we'll get a click on that. But I do believe we have somebody else coming in at some point too to relieve me of my duties here and stay on board with you, Garrett, as this tournament goes underway.
Oh yeah, we have I believe Tony will be here eventually. He just has to work today, so when he's done with work, he'll be hitting us up in the group. And then we also Shy Away will be making an appearance later on today as well. So we have a great rotation of talent. I'm glad that you're here with me right now, Taylor. I've been having a great time with you. But just during the bracket play, we'll see a little bit of a switch up in the talent, so that'll be fun. Look forward to that. It'll be fun to get a cast with everybody.
Yeah, as always.
Something went bang bang in my backyard. I wonder what that was. But yeah, I'm gonna go find this bracket and let's go take a look. And
yeah, I'm taking a look right now. On. So in Group A, Magnanimous in Elevate, Magnanimous fighting for that second place seed. Sentinels 2-0 right now. Elevate, Magnanimous 1-1.
Yeah, I like that is going to be a match that will decide who goes on through that pool. And then over on the side, ooh, Cobra Kai 2-1 in their pool. Wonder who they lost to. So I think Cobra Kai ends up winning their pool along with Cloud9, so they're going to be going out. And then over in Group B, KCP to be expected up 2-0. So we're going to see a match, Status Quo and Babui tied at 1-1. Right. and then over. I mean, obviously, Inconceivable and Flyers has just been so nasty. I don't really see Scared Money putting up an opportunity versus Flyers.
No, I mean, I have a hard time seeing a lot of people putting anything up against Flyers, given that still a loss, but Jesus, they played every single game like it was the championship on the line right there. And that's, you know, that's how you have to play a team like Inconceivable. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that we're just seeing basically every fight to see who gets out of groups, and I mean, I can't see Flyers not getting out of their group right there. So, and then, man, that Sentinels Elevate Magnanimous the pool, that's just it's such a bloodbath, man. I'll be curious to see who gets out of that one, as all of those teams. I mean, Sentinels obviously just a way better, but Elevate Magnanimous very, very close. I mean, they got third and fourth in the open